Welcome back to the stage, David Gordon. Woo! David, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. All right, we got 7 minutes on Optimus time. David, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah. Breakup audience, are you ready? David Gordon with Skin in 3, 2, 1.
When I was 18, I wanted to retire at 28. I'd be rich, influential, somehow immune to criticism, thick-skinned, untouchable. Now I'm 38, and I mostly just want clean socks and something warm for dinner. It's not that I have less ambition, I just started noticing what it was costing me. Like, after I got a master's degree in public policy, I thought I should get a corporate job. So I went to work in a tall downtown building. Gray cubicles, carpet like watery oatmeal, and no reward for authenticity. The office only rewarded polite smiles, fake fluency of acronyms, and nodding along to values that I didn't share. And yet, I went up that elevator every day. I quickly learned two things. First, the hardest part about a 9 to 5 is the 9. The second thing was that I had colleagues who wore ties. And like, not ironically. Just standard issue professionalism. Yuck. I learned that if I'm going somewhere where a tie is expected, I'm going in the wrong direction. I barely stomached it for 2 years before I quit without a plan. I ended up doing what any enterprising corporate dropout would do. I grew pot. Lots of it. For 10 years. I filled 3 bedrooms in my rented house, wall-to-wall canopy. It was a decade of questionable legality and impeccable airflow. One morning, though, there's a banging on my front door. Not a neighborly knock, more like a summons. I open the door, and 3 county sheriffs are staring at me. I can only describe their look as authoritatively unamused. I do the, you know that little head tilt dogs do when they're confused? The sheriffs tell me I have to show them my plants or they'll take me to jail. I let them in. And no one asks if this is a shoes-off house. I'm standing in the living room with these armed and badged buzzkills. My mind reels. I'm facing financial collapse, a furious landlord, and a criminal record. My entire livelihood is at stake. Any sane person would shut up, comply, maybe even pray. Me, though? Time for jokes. They scan the room and their eyes land on the framed poster on the wall. It's Mona Lisa smoking a joint. I say, that's the original. No one even pretends to smile, so I double down. Da Vinci was a friend of mine. They still don't laugh, but they don't arrest me either. But the point was never laughter. The jokes are to protect myself. Humor as armor, emotional armor. Jokes instead of consequences, or rejection, or vulnerability. Jokes instead of abandonment, or grief. Jokes, because otherwise, I have to admit, I'm terrified. It's not just with sheriffs in my living room. I've done this at traffic stops, in hospital rooms, at funerals. My therapist says this is common. My ex said it was a deal breaker. But my first armor wasn't jokes. It was silence. And it started over 30 years ago in my grandma's living room. I still remember the exact shape my body was in when I found out my mom died. My brother Dan and I were wrestling on the pull-out couch. He had me pinned on my back. I was 5 and Dan was 7 and Grandma was right over there in the kitchen. The phone rang. She picked it up and screamed. The kind of scream that sounds like, everything's gonna be different now. Of course, I didn't know that at the time. I just wanted to wrestle. Why did we stop wrestling? Why was everyone suddenly hugging me so hard, their tears smeared warm across my face? When Grandma told me that Mom was in heaven now, I said, well then go up there and get her. I wasn't joking. The next day, I played with my Matchbox cars like nothing happened. I learned to go numb instead of breaking down. Silence kept the grief out. Jokes keep the fear out. The problem is, they keep everything else out too. But I want to let things in. I don't just mean sheriffs on my porch. I mean, I want to let in that former girlfriend who always saw past my punchlines. And my friend who only calls when he's drunk. And my cousin who's too afraid to tell me the truth. And the homeless man on my street who just wants someone to talk to. I want to let in the neighbors who brought me that stuffed zebra to my mom's funeral. And my dad who has never fully recovered. And that 5-year-old who didn't cry till later. I will let you in.